Do you want to live your best life? Most of us believe that we need to do more, achieve more, to have a great life. But the truth is much simpler. The secret to living a meaningful life doesn't lie in adding more, but in quietly and decisively removing the toxic things that hold you back. Marcus Aurelius, the illustrious emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This powerful statement forms the foundation of today's conversation. Through the philosophy of Stoicism, we will explore 12 crucial things you need to silently eliminate from your life. These aren't instant or flashy changes, but rather a profound and persistent process, akin to Marcus Aurelius' advice to control and understand our inner selves. In this video, you will discover familiar yet often overlooked areas where stress and distractions quietly reside. Step by step, you'll learn to gently let go of negative habits, relationships, and mindsets that dampen your passion. This process not only helps you clear your mind, but also creates space for peace, growth, and more meaningful people to enter your life. Commit to following through to the end of this journey by leaving a comment. I live my best life. This isn't just an invitation to reflect, but an opportunity to transform yourself. Let's begin. Number 1. Unnecessary goals. Being true to yourself is one of the most important core values. However, at times, we find ourselves caught up in goals that initially seem meaningful, but as we delve deeper, we realize they don't truly serve our long-term values or happiness. These could be a job that promises promotion but leaves us exhausted, or a self-improvement goal we pursue merely due to external pressure. Ask yourself, is this goal genuinely mine, or is it an echo of someone else's expectations? Identifying and letting go of goals that no longer align with us is an art of living. For instance, you might have wanted to learn guitar because your friends encouraged you, but as you progressed, you realized music isn't your true passion. Instead of persisting just to prove something to others, you decide to stop and channel that energy into painting, a pursuit that makes you feel free and creative. Such a decision is a significant step towards staying loyal to yourself and prioritizing what truly matters. In the process of relinquishing unnecessary goals, discretion is key. Personal changes don't need to be showcased, and privacy brings remarkable strength. As Marcus Aurelius emphasized, focus on internal improvement rather than seeking external validation. When you quietly adjust yourself without the need for public acknowledgement or explanations, you safeguard your integrity and personal strategy, keeping life simple yet meaningful. Time and effort are precious resources. As the philosopher Seneca once said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Chasing unnecessary goals only robs us of opportunities to focus on what truly matters. A friend of mine once shared how she spent months planning an extravagant birthday party out of fear that others would find her boring if she didn't. Ultimately, she realized that the simplicity of a cozy evening with loved ones brought her the most genuine joy. Maintaining integrity on your personal journey requires wisdom and courage to be selective. Don't be afraid to let go of what no longer serves you. Be quiet, cautious, and steadfast in your core values. In that silence, you will find the strength to live a meaningful life. Number 2, raising your voice. Have you ever felt your voice rising, not out of confidence, but because anger was overtaking your soul? In those moments, your voice is not just a sound, but an outburst of uncontrollable emotions. The philosopher Heraclitus once said, "To be even-minded is the greatest virtue." Indeed, controlling your emotions in tense moments is not only a sign of maturity, but also a journey toward mastering your inner self. Let's turn to Mark's story. During a tense meeting with colleagues, Mark was unfairly criticized. He could have shouted to defend himself, but instead, he sat upright, maintained a calm gaze, and responded with a gentle yet clear voice. The room fell silent. His opponent had no way to counter his composure. This action not only earned Mark's respect, but also spread a sense of security and inspired admiration for his patience. This is not just a way to handle situations, but the highest expression of inner control. When you shout, you not only lose the peace within your mind, but also risk damaging your relationships with those around you. Words spoken in anger are like invisible knives. They leave scars you may not realize. In contrast, calmness is the most powerful weapon. It gives you the strength to overcome challenges, transforming negative emotions into positive motivation. Instead of yelling in anger, focus on what you can do to change the situation. Try applying this to your life. The next time you feel stressed, instead of letting anger explode, pause, take a deep breath, and let your voice become a quiet declaration of self-respect. That is how you not only master your emotions, but also demonstrate true strength. And now, consider another aspect of life where you can quietly make a change. Constantly comparing yourself to others. Ask yourself, what does this relentless comparison bring you? And how can you break free from this vicious cycle? Don't miss out, because the answer will change the way you see yourself. Let's continue. Number 3. Constantly comparing yourself to others. Have you ever felt tired of constantly comparing yourself to others? It's an endless loop, like running on a treadmill with no finish line, leaving you exhausted without ever getting anywhere. Looking at what others have or what they've achieved only makes you miss the unique value and beauty of your own life story. Every time you compare, you not only undervalue yourself, but also unintentionally fall into the trap of self-doubt, insecurity, and disappointment. Take, for instance, the story of J.K. Rowling, the author of the famous Harry Potter series. When she began writing the first chapters in a small cafe in Edinburgh, she had nothing but an idea and determination. At that time, she wasn't comparing herself to renowned authors or worrying about whether she'd achieve great success like them. Instead, she focused on her own story, her characters, lessons, and the messages she wanted to convey. The result? A masterpiece that changed millions of lives, including her own. If she had been preoccupied with the achievements of others, would those magical pages have ever been written? Constant comparison not only makes you forget your own worth, but also drains the energy you need for creativity and growth. Others' achievements can be inspiring, but they are not the measure of your life. Life isn't a race against others. It's a journey to become the best version of yourself. Stoic philosophy teaches us an important lesson through Epictetus's words: control your perceptions, direct your actions properly, willingly accept what's outside your control. This means that instead of looking at others, focus on mastering yourself and savoring each moment of your journey, imperfect, messy, but uniquely yours. Pause and ask yourself, what are you proud of today? Instead of comparing, appreciate the small yet meaningful things you've accomplished. Celebrating others' successes doesn't mean denying your own value. We want to know, have you ever fallen into the trap of comparison? How did you overcome it? Share your thoughts and story in the comments, as your experience might inspire others. Let's start the journey of stopping comparisons and living true to ourselves today. Number 4, the pursuit of external validation. Imagine yourself standing on a grand stage under dazzling spotlights. Surrounding you are hundreds of spectators, their eyes fixed intently on you, eagerly awaiting your every word and gesture. Each time you smile or misstep, you hear applause or hushed murmurs of judgment. That stage is life when we live constantly seeking the approval of others, a relentless journey fraught with exhaustion and pressure. We are often swept up in the whirlwind of pleasing others, as if our worth depends entirely on external validation. But the truth is, those stage lights do not shine for you. They illuminate society's expectations and standards, ones you can never fully meet. When you live to please everyone else, you lose the most important thing, your inner voice. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So, imagine a different scene. You step off that stage and into a quiet forest, where no eyes follow you. There, you can hear the clear voice of your heart. This is where you find freedom, when your voice matters more than any external praise or criticism. Take the story of J.D. Salinger, author of The Catcher in the Rye, as a vivid example. When his book became a global phenomenon, all eyes turned to him, expecting him to become a cultural icon. But instead of embracing fame, Salinger withdrew from the spotlight, choosing a simple life in the American countryside. He focused on what truly mattered to him, writing, meditating, and staying true to his values. Without the stage lights, he still left behind an invaluable spiritual legacy. What can we learn from Salinger? Start by asking yourself, are your decisions truly what you want, or are they driven by the expectations of others? Trust your intuition, celebrate even small achievements, and don't fear failure. It's how you build confidence. Above all, nurture relationships that respect your individuality rather than demand you change. When you let go of the need for external approval, you discover something priceless: authenticity and inner peace. Be the protagonist of your own story, not a performer in someone else's play. Number 5. Holding on to unrealistic expectations. As we embark on life's journey, we often build grand expectations: an ideal home, a perfect job, and a fulfilling relationship. These are beautiful dreams that illuminate the path ahead. Yet, when these expectations exceed the bounds of reality, they cease to be motivations and become burdens. They trap people in a spiral of disappointment and disillusionment, much like a thirsty person futilely grasping at their reflection in the water. These unrealistic expectations don't arise naturally. They stem from societal pressures, the glamorous promises of the media, and a culture that idolizes perfection. They blind us to the simple beauty of real life. Chasing perfection in ourselves, others, or every experience is akin to pursuing the horizon, a destination that never truly exists. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." What matters is not the events themselves, but how we face and handle them. If you've ever set expectations to always excel in every aspect of life, to achieve the highest accomplishments at work, maintain perfect relationships, and present an impeccable image to others, you may find yourself waking up each morning with a to-do list aimed at proving your worth. Over time, fatigue and disappointment creep in. Each unmet goal becomes a reason to blame yourself, leaving you feeling as though you've failed. One day, you realize that these unrealistic expectations have stolen your joy in life. Instead of savoring the journey, you've been fixated on a destination that constantly shifts, always just out of reach. At that moment, you decide to pause and reassess. You come to accept that no one can be perfect forever, and that setting achievable, realistic goals is the key to happiness. With this shift, you not only rediscover peace, but also learn to appreciate yourself and your genuine efforts each day. Letting go of unrealistic expectations is not a rejection of ambition, but an awakening. It begins with honesty, peeling back the shoulds and if-onlys that have rooted themselves in your mind. We must face the truth that no one and nothing in life is flawless. Only by accepting limitations can we truly free ourselves from burdens and embrace the authentic beauty of life's journey. Have you ever faced unrealistic expectations? How did you learn to let them go? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Number 6. Gossiping engaging. Rumors and gossip may seem harmless, even captivating. They bring a temporary sense of connection, an opportunity to belong to a group, or fill the void in a conversation. But the bitter truth is that engaging in such negative talk not only damages others' reputations, but also erodes your own values and integrity. These seemingly small words act like sharp knives, cutting deep into trust and shattering relationships. Epictetus once said, "Keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must, and then briefly." Words are like seeds. They can cultivate a beautiful garden of kindness and compassion, or grow into weeds, spreading negativity and discord. By choosing to refrain from gossip, you not only protect the dignity of others but also nurture a strong spirit, where peace and respect can take root. Let me tell you the story of Clara, a young, passionate woman who often gathered with her friends on weekends to chat. Initially, these get-togethers brought a sense of comfort and connection. But over time, Clara realized that the conversations frequently shifted to gossiping about others, from criticizing a colleague's fashion choices to scrutinizing the personal lives of friends. One day, Clara found herself unintentionally joining in, laughing along at the negative stories. Later, however, she felt a pang of guilt, as though a part of her personal values had been compromised. Clara decided to make a change. Instead of contributing to the gossip, she quietly steered the conversations in a different direction, suggesting positive topics like sharing personal goals or discussing inspiring books. When her friends tried to drag her into gossip, Clara smiled and politely refrained from participating. Her calm yet resolute demeanor set her apart, making her appear strong and self-respecting. Not only did she reclaim her personal values, but Clara also gradually created a positive environment where words became bridges rather than barriers. Resisting the temptation of negative conversations is not easy. In those moments, pause and ask yourself, do my words truly contribute to building up, or do they merely add to destruction? Instead of viewing others through the lens of criticism, see them as human beings facing their own struggles, failures, and achievements. By doing so, you not only uphold your own dignity, but also honor shared human values, something society desperately needs. By setting an example, you not only improve yourself, but also guide others toward more genuine connections. A positive environment where compassion thrives can transform how we perceive life and foster sustainable relationships. We want to express our gratitude and congratulations to you for making it halfway through today's video. Your presence here proves that you're ready to eliminate toxic elements from your life, step by step, quietly yet powerfully. Turn your focus now to what's next, where we'll explore perfectionism, a trap in the journey of self-improvement. Let's continue this journey together. Number 7. Perfectionism in our quest for self-improvement. In the journey of personal growth, we often unintentionally fall into the trap of perfectionism. It is a silent adversary, intensifying stress and fostering the feeling that our efforts are never enough. By setting unrealistic standards, we not only stifle our creativity, but also plant the fear of making mistakes. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Perfectionism is precisely the external force we must learn to control through inner strength. Take the story of Thomas Edison, the brilliant inventor behind the first electric light bulb. During his journey to create a revolutionary invention, Edison failed thousands of times before discovering a way to make the light bulb last longer. When asked about these failures, he simply replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." If Edison had been obsessed with immediate success, the world might never have been illuminated by his perseverance and innovative thinking. Edison did not allow the fear of mistakes or imperfection to block his path. Instead, he viewed each failure as a necessary step in his journey of discovery. By embracing experimentation and the possibility of stumbling, he achieved one of humanity's most significant inventions. This is a vivid testament to the power of letting go of perfectionism. It not only frees the mind from pressure, but also creates space for bold ideas to flourish. To escape the grip of perfectionism, practice self-compassion. Accept that mistakes are not failures, but opportunities for learning. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on doing your best within your capacity. Redefine success not as a flawless outcome, but as the process of effort and growth. Letting go of perfectionism opens the door to a freer, more authentic life. When we stop chasing perfection, we allow ourselves to enjoy the journey, live fully in each moment, and cherish the small things. Once we relieve ourselves of the pressure we impose on ourselves, we may notice another insidious danger creeping in to dominate our focus daily: the unconscious use of social media. Have you ever asked yourself what you are truly seeking each time you scroll through that screen? Let us explore the quiet power of controlling this habit in the next section. Number 8. Mindless use of social media. Each of us has a unique life story, an unfinished manuscript brimming with potential. However, in today's world, where social media infiltrates every aspect of life, it's easy to lose ourselves. Glittering images and bite-sized success stories on social platforms seem to paint a perfect picture, but in reality, they are incomplete fragments. We start comparing our journeys to the highlight reels of others and begin asking ourselves, why am I not like them? This not only harms our self-esteem, but also distances us from the true essence of life, a challenging journey, not a stage for showing off. Luke, a young man, was once a victim of unconscious social media usage. After long workdays, he would spend hours scrolling through screens, immersed in images of his peers traveling, indulging in luxury shopping, or achieving career milestones. Luke didn't realize that these endless scrolls were gradually eroding his mind, making him feel small and dissatisfied with himself. But things changed when Luke decided to use social media intentionally. He began asking himself before opening an app, will this make me better, or is it just a way to kill time? He set time limits for usage, only visiting pages that truly inspired him or provided valuable information. Something magical happened. Luke found he had more time to do meaningful things like focusing on his hobby of reading, journaling, and even trying his hand at photography. Taking a break from social media, he felt lighter and his self-esteem began to regenerate. Mindful social media use isn't just about reducing wasted time, it's about cherishing one's personal story. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you create space for personal growth and recognize that your journey holds special meaning without the need for display or external validation. If social media is taking control of your emotions, try setting your phone down, stepping outside, and rediscovering the richness of real life. Your story deserves to be written by you with pride and purpose. Number 9. Spreading negative opinions about others. Have you ever wondered what it says about you when you spread negative opinions about others? When we speak ill or judge someone, are we truly in control of our thoughts? Or are we letting negative emotions take over? The harmful effects of speaking negatively aren't limited to the person being criticized. It also damages the one spreading it. Imagine telling a group of friends about a colleague's mistake during a casual gathering. Regardless of whether the story is accurate, ask yourself, if they knew what you were saying behind their back, would they still trust you? And how would those listening perceive you, knowing you are quick to judge others? To illustrate, consider Anna, a manager at a large advertising firm. One day, Anna felt frustrated when a colleague submitted a report late. In her irritation, she vented about it to her team. The result? Even though the colleague didn't know, their relationship grew colder over time. Anna realized that gossiping didn't solve the problem, but instead created more barriers. Later, she changed her approach. She met with her colleague directly, listened to their reasons, and worked together to find a solution. The outcome? They not only completed their tasks more efficiently, but also built mutual trust. Empathy and respect are the keys to maintaining positive relationships. Everyone is battling challenges we cannot see. Instead of judging, choose empathy. Instead of spreading negativity, look for ways to create constructive conversations. We cannot fully grasp the complexities behind someone's actions, but by accepting that their emotions and choices have their own reasons, we open the door to building genuine, deeper relationships. Take a moment to reflect. Do your words reflect your own values? It's time to silence negative remarks and replace them with empathy and a constructive attitude. If you've had similar experiences or learned valuable lessons, share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue exploring Stoic philosophy's profound teachings together. Number 10. Oversharing the end of relationships. In life, everyone will eventually go through the end of a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship. During these times, the need to share with others often arises as a way to relieve emotions. However, when we fall into the trap of recounting too many details about conflicts or the reasons for the breakup, this not only violates the privacy between you and the other person, but also unintentionally creates a cycle of speculation and judgment. These seemingly harmless stories can lead to unnecessary misunderstandings, complicating an already emotional situation. Imagine you've just ended a close relationship that lasted for years. At a gathering, you share with your friends every disagreement, from trivial arguments to the major reasons that led to the breakup. At first, you may feel relieved to share, but what happens when these stories are passed along, distorted, and end up back with the other person? You not only cause them further harm, but also put yourself in a chaotic cycle of judgment and ongoing conflict. A friend of mine once went through this. After ending a long-term relationship, she felt the need to share her pain with many people. But soon her words were spread, making the other person feel betrayed. and the tension between them escalated. Eventually, she realized that talking too much only made her more exhausted, and it took away the opportunity to quietly heal. Therefore, instead of seeking sympathy from others, engage in dialogue with yourself. Write in a journal, reflect, or turn to meditation to better understand your inner emotions. This is a way to not only protect the dignity of both parties, but also create space for personal healing. Keeping private details about the end of a relationship is not avoidance, it is an act of respect, respecting the other person and yourself. It is how you close an old chapter, not with noise but with peace. And it is this peace that will open up a new journey full of self-respect and inner strength. Number 11. Explaining yourself to those who cause you pain. Life sometimes forces us to face the hurt from those we once were close to. But is it necessary to explain, justify, or try to clarify the pain they caused? The simple answer is no. Sometimes, silence and moving on are the strongest responses. Protecting inner peace is the top priority. When someone hurts you, it's natural to want them to understand or apologize, but that is not always possible. Choosing not to explain or confront is not a weakness. It is a way to protect yourself from negative emotional spirals. Remember, mental health and personal growth are more important than holding on to people who no longer deserve a place in your life. There is a thought-provoking true story about Taylor Swift, the world-renowned singer and songwriter. Taylor once shared about a conflict with a close friend in the entertainment industry. After being betrayed and publicly criticized by this person, Taylor did not respond with loud arguments. Instead, she chose to remain silent, focusing on writing songs that expressed her emotions and working relentlessly to develop her career. Her subsequent albums, particularly 1989 and Reputation, not only became huge successes, but also carried a powerful message about self-control, maturity, and how to overcome pain through creativity. Taylor Swift used her talent and composure to show the world that she did not let the past hinder her, but turned her pain into motivation to rise above. Her success and peace of mind are the clearest answers to the hurt she once endured. If the person who caused you pain tries to re-enter your life, you have every right to refuse. It's not out of spite, but a determined action to protect your self-respect and trust. Creating distance is a wise decision, helping you avoid unnecessary trouble. Time will be the clearest proof of every action. Instead of getting stuck in the cycle of revenge or regret, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Invest in mental health, nurture love for yourself, and look forward to a future full of hope. That is the only way to overcome suffering without letting it defeat you. Walking away from people who do not respect you is not a loss, but a courageous act to maintain peace and joy in your life. Your life deserves to be surrounded by people who bring positivity and support you on your journey of growth. Number 12. Holding a grudge. Hatred is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. This familiar saying, though simple, perfectly captures the essence of holding on to hatred, a silent thief that steals our joy and peace. Among the burdens we carry in life, few are as unnecessary and destructive as hatred. Holding on to hatred is like imprisoning oneself in a vicious cycle of pain, draining energy, emotions, and the ability to fully embrace life. Letting go of this silent burden is not just an act of forgiveness, but also an act of liberation. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When we hold on to hatred, we allow the mistakes of others to shape our actions, often leading us away from the values we cherish. Instead of finding justice or resolution, hatred binds us to old wounds, preventing healing. Stoicism teaches that, while we cannot control the actions of others, we have complete control over our own responses. Choosing to let go of hatred is not a sign of weakness. It is a demonstration of profound inner strength. Look at the story of Nelson Mandela. After 27 years of imprisonment, enduring inhumane treatment, and losing his freedom, he walked out without carrying bitterness or hatred. Instead, he chose forgiveness as the foundation of his leadership, uniting a divided nation. Mandela's refusal to hold on to hatred against his oppressors not only stands as a testament to his extraordinary resilience, but also reminds us of the transformative power of letting go. His actions inspire us to rise above our circumstances and recognize that forgiveness is more about freeing ourselves than freeing others. In personal life, hatred can manifest in small but equally toxic forms, such as a lingering grudge against a betraying friend, a deceitful colleague, or a family member who wounds us with harsh words. These small hatreds create invisible barriers that prevent us from experiencing love and harmony. By quietly letting them go, we make space for joy, gratitude, and growth. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or condoning mistakes. It is a conscious choice to prioritize our own peace over prolonging pain. When we release hatred, we regain control of our lives, no longer weighed down by the burdens of the past. It is a gift we give ourselves, a declaration of freedom and strength. Modern life is full of annoyances, stress, and unnecessary things that drain our energy and waste our precious time. In this article, we have explored 12 things that you should quietly remove from your life in order to achieve peace and focus more on what truly matters. From cutting out toxic relationships and letting go of the habit of comparing yourself to others, to releasing control over things you cannot change, each small step can make a big difference in your life journey. Remember, letting go does not mean giving up, but rather choosing the things that truly deserve your attention. Only by clearing your mental space can you make room for better things to come into your life. What do you think about these 12 things? Which one do you find the hardest to eliminate? Or is there anything else you believe also needs to be freed from your life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. If you found this article helpful, don't forget to like and share it to spread the message to more people. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to not miss any exciting content in the future. Keep exploring with us through the suggested videos at the end of this article. Thank you and see you in the next video.